Hi, I'm Rob Hobkirk, partner with Brown & Hobkirk PLLC, and I'd like to talk about 7 common mistakes that people make when doing their estate plan. The first mistake is simply not having an estate plan. Many people don't realize that the state of Arizona has created an estate plan for you if you don't have one of your own. I'm not sure how many people would want the state legislature deciding how their assets should be distributed. That's why it's important for you to create your own estate plan. A second mistake is sloppy drafting. An example of this can be seen in Kobe Bryant's estate. His estate plan left all of his assets to his specifically named children. After creating his estate plan, he had another child. When he passed away, that child was not included as a beneficiary. This required his wife to petition the court to ask that that child be included as a beneficiary. If he had included a clause to include afterborn children, it could have avoided this. A third common mistake that people make are do-it-yourself estate plans. These may seem like a good option because of the cost savings. However, one small mistake can lead to an invalid estate plan and costly litigation. The cost savings from doing it yourself will easily be outweighed by those expenses. That's why it's important to have a professional assist you with your estate plan. A fourth mistake is not knowing all of your options. We have many tools available to us to address almost any situation. Perhaps you have a special needs child who's receiving government assistance. We can include a special needs trust into your existing trust that would allow that beneficiary to receive assets but not disqualify them for benefits. That's why it's important to talk to an experienced estate planning attorney so you know all of your options. A fifth common mistake is not updating your estate plan. There are many life-changing events that people go through, but they don't update their estate plans. This could be divorce, remarriage, perhaps the death of a beneficiary. All of these things could impact the validity of your current estate planning documents. That's why we recommend having your estate planning reviewed every 3 to 5 years. The sixth, and probably one of the more common mistakes that we see, are people fail to properly fund their trust. When setting up a trust, it's important to get all of your assets into your trust, whether that's retitling real estate, bank accounts, vehicles, or updating beneficiary designations, naming the trust as the beneficiary in the event you pass away. By failing to properly fund your trust, you basically defeated the whole benefit of having a trust. That's why it's important to review this with an experienced attorney. The seventh and final common mistake that people make is not telling others about their plan. I recommend that my clients talk with their loved ones regarding their wishes and their plan. This may include telling them how you want your assets to be distributed and why, if there's specific reasons, and addressing any of your healthcare wishes with your loved ones. This can avoid misunderstanding, hurt feelings, and potentially costly litigation. That's why it's important to talk to your loved ones about your plan. We also recommend letting them know where you've kept your documents. For more information, contact brownhobkirk.com.